What's up, the squad? Back with another video. I seen that title's going out. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button for me, please. Y'all see it right here. Ilhan Omar just got busted trying to launder. You know, it's pretty wild. It's definitely pretty wild. You know, this is a post by Gunther Eagleman. Says, you know, got busted trying to, you know, launder American tax dollars straight through to her homeland in Somalia. Allegedly, you know, gotta say that. But just check it out right here, y'all.
Covered the other day, and one of our spending bills making its way through Congress was a $1 million earmark from Representative Ilhan Omar of Minnesota, which was an earmark that was supposedly going to a substance abuse clinic, which actually happened to be housed in a restaurant and run by 3 individuals that share the same residential address, according to their IRS paperwork. Tons of red flags. So this is what we saw with the fraud involving the daycare centers. Now we see other earmarks coming directly from members of Congress where it seems fraud is being perpetrated as well. So I raised the issue, and fortunately, the House has now stripped that earmark out of that spending bill. But again, this is how easy money has been flowing to bad actors in Minnesota. Covered the other.
Tell y'all, it's definitely getting bad, and it's definitely getting bad by the day. And I know that, you know, I've said that a couple times over the past weeks, but let me tell y'all something. When I tell y'all that it's getting pretty insane, it's definitely getting pretty insane. I wouldn't lie to y'all. His Minnesota fraud case takes a major turn as Akram Muhammad, I'm pretty sure it's Muhammad, pleads guilty to wire fraud in the scheme stealing over $14 million from a child meal program, including $1.3 million for herself. I'm telling y'all, definitely insane. Just look.
Ikram, do you have anything to say?
So Ikram Muhammad.
Ikram, does this mean you won't be charged in the bribe case?
Not going to make any sense that way.
Are you going to be able to pay back any of the money?
Definitely insane, I'll tell you that. And it gets worse. Says 6 more suspected Somali fraudsters reported pleading guilty in a massive Minnesota Feed Our Future fraud scheme. So it wasn't just the only person. Family members of Akram Muhammad were allegedly recruited to steal nearly $12 million in taxpayer dollars. I know y'all know who are recruiting these individuals and who has these individuals doing all of this. I'm telling y'all, check it out.
This week, all but one of the next batch of fraud suspects in the Feeding Our Future case say they will plead guilty. This group of 7 was led by Ikram Muhammad, one of the most notorious defendants in the entire $300 million Feeding Our Future fraud case. She allegedly recruited her husband, her mother, her sister, and 2 of her brothers to all take part in the fraud. In the trial of Amy Bach, the former executive director of Feeding Our Future, we learned that she was very close with Ikram, who worked at Feeding Our Future in addition to running meal sites and allegedly collecting kickbacks from many other participants. Bach texted her about slapping defamation lawsuits on state officials who began to suspect fraud. According to Ikram Muhammad's indictment, her group is accused of stealing at least $12 million. They were all set to go on trial together in late April, but after this week, it looks like only one defendant, Muhammad's brother Gandhi, will be left. The guilty pleas are scheduled for Wednesday and Friday, and I'll let you know how those hearings go. I'm Lou Ragoose.
I'm telling y'all, one thing about it is that's very wild. It's the simple fact that you have all these individuals that are in this, and nobody whatsoever, like when it comes to Tim Walz, when it comes to Ilhan Omar, those are the ones that we're looking for when it comes down to this. Because let me tell y'all something, these people are taking the fall for them. This is not just you know, me being that type. Like I'm telling y'all, and you know, I got obviously watch what I say, but when I tell y'all that you have these individuals that's taking the fall for them, they truly are. And it's definitely insane that it's even happening. You have so many things. I mean, you gotta think about it. Having Ilhan Omar, you know, having all this money for a big jump, and then having these individuals just up and get caught. I mean, it says Somali scammers caught red-handed after trying to cash the same check at multiple bank locations. And it says her employer, you know, as it's on here, is Walz. Check it out.
I have just information here that's not matching on our system. I understand you've been to other branches too, so we just wanted to.
What's going on?
Hi, I got that check from my employer.
You could tell in her eyes right there that she went straight into the script. She's like, hi, I got the check from my employer. Nah, you're running a Somali scam. You're going back to Somalia, man. This is America. We ain't playing that game out here no more.
You have an ID on you?
Yes, that's the ID.
This is your ID?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna play this whole video, but I'm gonna play some of it. Just so y'all get an idea.
What's your name?
Samaya.
Your birthday? Okay. New York license?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, which car so we can go take a look?
The Civic.
What color?
White.
White. Okay.
That's her?
So you just came to cash a check from your employer?
Yeah.
Who's your employer?
It's a rent check.
A rent check?
Yes. It's for my rent.
Yeah. Who's your employer though?
It's a rent check.
No, I get that. But you said it's from your employer, right?
Yeah.
So who's your employer?
I don't understand the problem.
Well, it sounds like they trying to pass a bad check.
No,
So
I'm not.
okay, so I'm asking who's your employer? Like who
It's
gave
a
you the
rent
check?
check.
It's for your rent.
Yes.
Okay. Do you understand my question?
Yeah, that's.
Still
I
employed.
feel like I don't know what's going on.
Y'all see how they're doing their bet? Like it's almost like they're trained. They're trained not to say names, give names. You know, or even not even trying to be funny. Threaten of some kind of sort. Don't give out this name. Don't do this or.
So I
You know
just
what I
told
mean?
you they called us because they think you're trying to pass a bad check.
Okay.
So that's what's going on. So I'm just trying to figure out if you're saying it's just for rent and
Yeah.
everything like that. I'm just asking who's your employer.
It's for rent.
But I know you didn't hear you're not getting my question. Like someone issued it to you, right? Your employer. So who's your employer? Like what do you do for work?
I'm a receptionist
Receptionist. Okay.
Yes.
Where do you work?
in New York.
Okay.
She's texting those Somali pirates. Are like, yo, they got the cops over here, man. I don't think I'm gonna make it out of this one.
Civics out here in the parking lot.
You drive a different car? My partner just told me there's not a Civic in the parking lot.
Boy.
I don't understand. You guys are making me like nervous.
Okay. Well, it's a simple question. What kind of car did you drive?
Oh, she said you guys are making me nervous.
Okay. So where'd you park it? Behind back?
Yes.
Your friend left you? Here with?
I have on the timeline.
She's cooked. She's
Well, just
cooked.
tell me what's going on. Obviously, I'm not stupid. You know what I mean?
Bro, the thing is that you have so many of these Somalians that are doing a lot. When I say a lot, there are so many things. We talking about trying to cash a check, the same check at multiple bank locations. You have daycares, you have transportation service, you have health services. You have so many things these individuals are doing, stealing. Man, I'm telling y'all, bro. Y'all see all the things that's going on. I'm telling y'all see all the things that's going on.
We've just uncovered the largest welfare.
I'm trying to let the people know, the people that's always commenting down and talking crazy, saying this, all that, on the bottom of my videos.
fraud scheme in history, and at the center of it, a very famous Congresswoman.
Ilhan Omar found the blueprint pretty early. She's clearly been in this for personal gain. She's made tens of millions of dollars since she's entered Congress. And what do you know? We find that her friends are getting rich in the process too. This is intentional. It's by design. Ilhan Omar was the individual in Congress who introduced this legislation that ultimately led to Feeding Our Future being able to defraud $250 million. And you gotta laugh because just the other day, she's complaining, well, it's because we don't have guardrails in place, and that's why these third parties were able to go steal from taxpayers. Well, Ilhan, you were in charge of setting up the guardrails.
I'm going to be honest with you. For $30 million.
I mean, it comes to the point. Where you have all this information. It's almost like you have two. Just think about it. I'm a guy that obviously does these videos, give out, more and more information and try to cram everything together and let y'all know different information and stuff that I see, stuff that I find, stuff that finds me, And I just look and I'm it's so much information out on Ilhan Omar, her husbands, just our whole family, her sister. We just went over there not too long ago. But just to think on the information we have and information they have, why are they not doing much about it is the question I have. That's what I'm trying to get and trying to understand. I'm telling y'all. Says right here, should all of the 50% of Muslim immigrants who came into Minnesota through fraud be deported? That's the question everybody has.
Well, you're aware of the CHNV, the parole programs that the previous administration was involved in, bringing people in. People here were allowed to sponsor individuals to come in from certain countries. As I said, we found organizations here that were involved in sponsoring many individuals. They did not know necessarily the individuals they were sponsoring. They were doing almost a blanket sponsorship. That is fraud. That's something that should have been caught. It's something that I know the previous administration was aware of how the sponsorships were happening, and no action was taken. I'm glad to see that we're taking action.
Exactly. One thing about it is that I'm glad that I'm seeing that they're taking action, and but at the same time, we want to see more. We want to see more when it comes down to it. I truly feel like because I want to see more. Yes, you're taking down. You're deporting. I've showed y'all clips and footage of Somalians getting put on planes and this, that, and the other. But when it comes down to the actual individuals, the ringleaders of it, that's what people are wanting. That's where you start. I'm telling y'all. Since President Trump is giving huge praise from the American people for considering deploy ICE agents to airports. This is important. Check it out.
This morning, President Trump said he'd be putting ICE agents at airports for security. That is, of course, big if, Democrats don't come to some sort of a funding agreement for DHS. Now, this is wait times and frustrations are growing at airports all across the country as the DHS shutdown rages on. It has been a real mess for those of us who travel. And who better to tell us all about that than Dana Marie McNichol? She's this morning.
I'm telling y'all. One thing about it is that you have these small moves that's going down. But again, I mean, I'm going to say between the three, there's more when it comes to fraud too. When you got Keith Ellis and Tim Walsh and Ilhan Omar, I mean, come on, y'all. It's so much information out there. So much information out there. Even judges. Like, come on. But I'm going to say those three. I'm going to say those top three. Says the left are, full panic now that President Trump turned the tables on them for refusing to fund DHS and is now threatening to send, ICE agents to the airports.
Posting this on
Which,
True
again, I truly feel that needs to happen.
Social, quote, if the radical left Democrats don't immediately sign an agreement to let our country, in particular our airports, be free and safe again, I will move our brilliant and patriotic ICE agents to the airports where they will do security like no one has ever seen before, including the immediate arrest of all illegal immigrants who have come into our country, with heavy emphasis on those from Somalia who have totally destroyed, with the approval of a corrupt governor, attorney general, and Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, the once great state of Minnesota. I look forward to seeing ICE in action at our airports, make America great again. And that comes.
And I truly feel like that's something that needs to happen. I mean, you just think about it. You have a lot of individuals that are truly already they're and that's the thing. I've seen so much as tens of thousands of cash in cases taking these airports. And y'all want to know what's even crazier about all of this? The people that are working in these airports, especially in Minnesota, are Somalian. It's almost, they have a whole operation going. They have a whole operation going. I'm telling y'all. Says President Trump believes Governor Tim Walz and Ilhan Omar are literally, again, like I've said, they're the ringleaders. Truly.
And I believe the governor is complicit. I believe Ilhan Omar is complicit. I believe that your attorney general is complicit. And if they are, you're going to hopefully find out about it, and you're going to have to do what you have to do. If we found half of the fraud that's taking place in this country, and I think you have a chance of doing that, we would have much more than a balanced budget. And
I'm telling y'all. Most definitely. I'm not gonna lie. Because you're having way too much going on. Says President Trump just instructed his new White House anti-fraud task force led by J.D. Vance to investigate Ilhan Omar. One thing about it is that I pray that, you know, it's more of a justice. I mean, you have so many people that are just now seeing. You know, you have people obviously, and you can't really hold it against people. Some people are in denial about it. Some people don't pay attention, you know, and following a family member or a friend, you know, or grew up, you know, to not like the right, you know, or anything like that. Always sticking with the left. You have individuals that truly just, you know, obviously didn't want to listen, wanted to, you know, go protest against Trump and say this, say that. But you have those same individuals that are now seeing what's truly going on. They don't care about you. They care about the Somalians. I'm telling y'all, check it out.
that's crazy. And Ilhan Omar, I hope this is part of it, but she married her brother, supposedly. I mean, there's a lot of documentation. That means she's here illegally and she's a congresswoman. And I hope you're going to be looking at that, or somebody is, all right? Because she's one of the ringleaders here. She's bad news, really bad news. She's so bad for our country. Anyway, JD, please say a few.
I'm telling y'all, definitely the ringleader when it comes down to it. Can't even sit there and hide that. Says she scammed this country into ballooning her net worth by over 46,000%. And people are asking to deport now. And I truly can't even say I don't blame them. When you're literally trying to get over. You know, they sit there and they talk, and that's what I feel like that's what truly gets on my nerves too. You have people commenting saying, "Oh, what about Trump? And what about this? What about?" You cannot compare. I don't care what anybody say, whether it's money, whether it's IQ, whether if it's, you know, just anything. You cannot compare Ilhan Omar to President Trump. And that's not me glazing. That's just me being real. That you cannot compare those two whatsoever. You're not about to sit here and what her salary. What was Ilhan Omar's salary? Let me look this up. I mean, just think about that, bro. We're talking about President Trump. Her salary, her base annual salary was $174,000. Y'all trying to compare her to Trump, and then she just skyrockets over $30 million over in a year. Right. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Definitely appreciate y'all. Much love, everybody. Stay tuned for the next video. Sorry for the late upload tonight, but hey, it's okay. It's the weekend. Catch y'all next one.